Welcome back everybody into another study session. Today we're going to continue with the setup review, and we have just a few fresh ones that came up in the last few days. So the last one that we saw was these sells. Now we are going into these buys. So this happened 2 days ago, was on Monday, and it was quite a rough Monday, I would say, volume wise. Now we're getting into, of course, it's more of it's fresh in my memory. So it was a slow volume and slow momentum, slow direction, as you can see here from the start of New York for over an hour and a half. There was nothing really going on. And yeah, maybe the bias was bullish, but only afterwards. And you can see there was not a lot of volume. We had a little bit of a report coming out at 2:30 or 8:30 a.m. Eastern, but nothing really showing that the price should continue to move forward. As you can see here, the only other setup that I saw was this bullish retracement. This was around 50% retracement of this overall bullish move, but still I was not really sure about the lower time frame, high time frame, especially seeing this rejection. Maybe it was a bearish one, but still very confusing, and with such a slow volume it was not easy to understand. The only thing that I actually saw but I failed to enter was this setup over here. So let's try to analyze it and see if it actually made sense or not. So as you can see, before New York, we are moving in a straight bearish fashion. We still don't have any clue of a bearish trend. We don't have any bearish trade idea yet for sells. And we come up at this time, which is after 8:20, and with the news with a very strong bullish momentum. So we are on the lower time frame, we are making a new higher high, we are making a new higher low, we are making a new higher high. Then what we come into is a little bit of a confusing and ranging, because we are back into the range, we are not respecting any PSA. So it was a little bit without any direction. So we can see now that we had a sort of 75% retracement to these previous highs. I don't actually remember if it was 75 or it was something different. I think it was in the middle, but anyway, we can validate that price was making higher high, a new higher low. This is possible new higher low. Now, what I actually saw during the live trading was this. So this, after this reaction, so this possible higher low being created, of course what I wanted to see was a new higher high. The other thing is that this higher high is simply coming above the last possible lower high. But to see a lower high, that will be that I'm validating these sells, and that's actually it is, because this is a lower low. Indeed, we are making our way below the last higher low, so it is indeed a new high, a new lower low. So let me put it like this. Lower low. But possible lower new higher low as well. So that's what I was confusing a little bit when I saw this new higher high on the lower time frame, because on the high time frame we didn't break the previous higher high. That's when I saw, okay, I want to see the retest of the last, either of the last lower high or the key level / PSA, to see then a bounce and then a continuation bullish. it actually did happen, but due to the very low volume and a little bit of confusion in my head, as per bias, I couldn't enter. But this candle close rejecting the key level, it would have given you 15 pips, would have been optimal. Our best entry would be as close as possible to the PSA, and this entry would be safe because the stop loss would be 15 pips will still be below this previous PSA, and you can see that the price will continue its way up to make 45 pips in a matter of 30 minutes. So as you can see, it's still quite a little bit of time. It's not really that strong, the momentum and direction. What we can actually see is that we are also retesting these previous lows and we are staying above it. So that's actually something that I missed. New higher low. For possible continuation bullish. I don't know if from here, 2019, it will make its way up to at least 45 pips. So let's do it like this for now. And this was the first setup. Let's see if the next one is the following. No, it's the next day. The next one is about yesterday, or the next one's about from yesterday. So what we can see is that we have the retail sales showing a very strong bounce. Sales with good data, good for USD. So this was the fundamental catalyst, but what we actually saw was that we had a first liquidity grab and then a continuation bearish, but then a failure because I was ready to take sells below there, but a failure to hold, and that's when I saw this setup. So like we were doing, let's see the market structure before the action. So we're seeing now lower highs and lower lows being printed, PSA is being retested, and then see a continuation. Of course, this is pre-New York, so not something that I could not trade, but we could see a very strong bearish momentum and continuation bearish in a bearish trend. Still at the time of the news, we had the last push up to these previous highs and then a continuation bearish. What happens next is that, so let's this is lower low, this is last lower low, this is actually the last lower high. So this was something that I could not trade because it was too counter trend for me to trade, but I wanted to highlight it for as per intuition and sort of revise it as well. So we are in a very strong bearish trend. As you can see, price is still making its way down, and what I see is that on the very lower time frame, so something very recent, so here the last few minutes after the news, we are sort of seeing a rejection of the news. So the price is failing to stay below my strong 4-hour PSA. Therefore, with this strong momentum, you can see 4 candles very, very strong. I said, okay, if we then fail to break below and make new lows, that's a possibility of the price in continuation bullish. Even to retest, even to just have a pullback, but there's a possibility. That's when I saw this candle rejection with this bullish candle rejecting the actually the PPL and the 4-hour PSA. I saw it can possibly continue bullish, and that's actually what happened. Still too counter trend to trade, something that I will keep an eye on, but as you can see, it's also the always pattern that I'm always saying, but that for now is too counter trend for me to trade with a strong bearish momentum, then strong pullback, coming back into the PSA, then a retest of the same area, and then sort of faking out the news. So faking out this break below, not giving you the chance of entering over here for the sells, showing you the strength of buyers, and that's that possibly being the continuation, the actual completion of the fake out. And this is scalper wise, might have been a good trade. Now we see that afterwards, of course, the price gave us further sell opportunity. We are coming into here that it's been like more than an hour. Yeah, basically an hour where I was sitting in the chart and the price was simply bouncing in a range, in a 20 pip range, 20 pip order block, still keeping a bearish price action, bearish bias. After the strong rejection above these levels that we don't see, but still in an order block like this we can see anything. We can see now the price pushing up, or we can see the price pushing down. So I'm not trading ranging, I'm only trading trending markets. So what I wanted to see was a strong breakout, but I also wanted, here I remember, I wanted a retest of this area for further sells. I knew that this area of these previous lows was crucial, and so I was waiting for it to be retested before taking any sells. And let me do it smaller. As you can see here, let me fix the order block. Okay. Yes. Okay. So what actually happened is that the price actually broke below, but still failed to show strong continuous market momentum and volume to make new lows. So we are still indeed making a new lower low. Lower low. New lower high. Lower high. The only thing is that I left the chart around here after seeing these bounces and okay, yeah, price is not moving bearish. I could have entered over there anticipating, but still not reaching my PSA. As you can see, simply 20 minutes later, price actually tapped my area and gave me the trade trigger with this rejection. That would have been my trade idea, and then we can see that from there, price will continue the trending condition, something that of course I could not expect, but something that I should trade anyway, because my trading time it's up until 5. So as you can see, I would have given it would have given me the opportunity to take a winning trade after losing one before that. I lost these buys over here, and yeah. Furthermore, after price is making a new lower low, so we were now validating this one as a distribution. We are now giving these new lower lows. That's a new lower high. Now we are breaking below these previous lows, and we are breaking below a strong 4-hour PSA. This is my setup. Of course, price is still not there's not much of volume, but still staying below the 4-hour PSA. Still any entry over there will still be intact above that. So that's where the price could have given you further scalp on the downside. Still distribution, low, new lower high, and when we're making a new lower low, this is anticipation, new lower high. and again, price still reacting and rejecting at this same level for further continuation down. Price is now making a new lower low over here, 1998, and then you can see price is simply now in a very nice and trendy market, printing new lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower low, facing the same lower high at the same PSA, breaking below and retesting the key level, breaking below and retesting these previous highs, breaking below and making a new lower low, breaking below the 1991 PSA, and simply making all the way down in a very strong fashion. As you can see here, this will simply be lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, simply price giving you this opportunity. And then you can also see how many bearish candles are over there. You can see how the bears are very much in control of it. And yes, that was quite a short thing, because of course the setups, that was the last setup that I had over here. We can have a look at my chart and my spreadsheet, and you can see we can have a look at how the best. Remember that this is not simply the setups in general. I might be looking at my setups in a sort of objective way, also to see the losses, in order to also have an idea of what possible loss percentage might be, so the actual win rate. For now, this setups is more of, okay, what is the best setup? How does it look like the best setup in the market, so that I can recognize what a winning trade might be. But still, I need to know what is a losing setup as well, and see what they have to be similar and still be a losing, because of course the win rate cannot be 100%. We can clearly see that most of these trades that are winning, two things is that they are in trend on the lower time frame, regardless of what the high time frame is. And we can see here that of 119, how many were was it matching? 88. So mostly they are matching. So lower time frame and high time frame are matching. Also, there are some few occasions when they do not match. So it's very important, very relevant to have an in trend on the lower time frame. You can see counter trend. It's taking based on the high time frame compared to the lower time frame, and you can also see that most of them, some of them do not have a lot of, will not go that far, 30, 20, 45 pips. Still, of course, these are basically all winning trades. And yeah, the other thing is that all these setups, we can clearly see that most of them would go for at least 3 to 1. You can see that the sum is 3,900 compared to 5,190. We can see that having a 3 to 1 is clearly more profitable with these trades than a 2 to 1. It's not like all these trades simply reach 30 pips and come back. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will keep you updated with further setups on the way. And yeah, I'll see you next time.